Hi, welcome. Simon here. In this video, I'll be replacing Dell XPS full assembly keyboard. Let me show you the model here. If you take a look at the fine print, it says model P82G. I believe it's called XPS 137390. That might be the model. Anyway, let me show you the keyboard. At least you get to identify the internal part of the computer. The power button is on the top right corner. It looks something like this. I believe this is the 2020 model, and this is the replacement keyboard. So the keyboard is a full assembly keyboard. If you have, maybe one or two keys that are not working, unfortunately you can't just replace the key itself. You would have to replace the full entire keyboard. The reason because of that is, if you take a look at the back, the way they make the keyboard, yes, you do see screws here, and the screws allows you to remove it and just remove the entire keyboard. But in my opinion, if you're going to get to that far position, you might as well just buy an OEM, a used replacement keyboard rather than a third-party keyboard, because the price difference is not much of it. And it's a lot more work for you to just remove all the screws. Alright, so let's go ahead and get right into it. I'm using a T5. I believe this is a Torque T5 screws. It's a T5 screwdriver, a Torque T5. Once you remove all the screws, the next step is to open up the back cover. I'm just gonna get right into there. And the thing would just pop right up. The next step is, if you want, go ahead and disconnect the battery. Slide the connector down. So the battery connector, just slide it down. Next step is to get a Phillips screwdriver. Next step, let's start disconnecting some of the cables. You just kind of like Lego, you snap onto the connector. I just lift it straight up. That bracket is holding down the Wi-Fi cable, as well as the LCD cable. To remove the LCD cable, just simply lift it straight up again. They're kind of like Lego, they snap onto it. To open, just lift it up. And same for the Wi-Fi antenna. So remember, the white cable is for the top, the black is at the bottom. All I did was I just lift it straight up and disconnect the Wi-Fi. Slide the connector away from you. That is for the CPU fan, left and right. To push it away. And the speaker here, we need to slide it to the left. Flip the clipper open up and slide the cable down. Same for this. Flip the clipper open and slide the cable down. Open up the clipper and slide it down. Here I'll be using a smaller Philip. I think this is Philip 10 single 0. And the connector would just lift it straight up. Let's go ahead and remove the LCD screen. Remove 2 screws. The 2 screws are holding down the hinge on the top right corner. Do the same on the top left corner. Let's open up the laptop. Gently open it up. At right about 90-degree angle, the hinge would just comes off away from the keyboard assembly. The next step is to remove and transfer the motherboard. I'll be starting on the right side of it. Here is the LCD connector. I'm sorry, here is the USB-C port. I don't think we need to remove the heatsink. Hopefully it just comes along with the motherboard. Let's move a little bit here to the left. We have 2 screws here on the left side of it. This is your CMOS battery, the one here at the very bottom. I believe I have removed all the screws for the motherboard. I might have to remove the screw here. It looks like it's a bigger screw holding down the CPU fan. I wonder if the motherboard would just come off. So far it seems like it is. What is holding it down? I'm not too sure. Let's try to remove the SSD. I don't think the SSD is just the cause of it. What else is there? Is there a tiny screw hidden somewhere here which I do not see? Nope, that was it. So the SSD wasn't even part of the motherboard screws. Not even the fan. Okay, so technically not much of it is holding it down, but just wanted to point it out to you. That is the back of the motherboard here. That's the front of it. and that is the broken keyboard. Now I might have to, I'm not sure if this is a touch ID. I hope it's not a touch ID. Otherwise, well, it might have been a touch ID. It looks like this thing is soldered to the original keyboard. If I replace the keyboard, I wasn't sure if the touch ID would work, but and again, because of Windows, it's not so particular with the touch ID. I believe it is okay to get by without it. I'm not too sure. If you guys know, please comment down below and let me know. Of course, I will turn it on and test out the computer afterwards. So I'm going to slide the motherboard back in there. The reason why it wasn't coming out because you need to position and wiggle until the USB-C here came loose on the original keyboard earlier, so that I can slide it out. Okay, so make sure all the cables are sitting above the motherboard. You want to double check, like this cable here is hidden underneath it. Make sure it comes above it. Now you want to double check, making sure that the USB is aligned to the motherboard. Okay, and here the speaker cable is still hidden, so make sure it's coming out. So all the cables should be sitting above the motherboard, and then making sure that the USB-C is aligned properly, and this cable here has to be sitting above it. Oh, that is the audio jack. Sorry, it's not a touch ID, it's an auxiliary jack. My bad. Alright, so looks like everything is in a position like such. Let me reverse the process by installing all these screws, starting from the top left corner. Here comes the top right. 3 screws holding down the USB-C. For those of you who wants to upgrade your M.2 SSD, it is located right on this bracket. Remove the screw and you should be able to see the M.2 here. Okay, let's reconnect the LCD screen. Making sure the hinge is open up. Slide that thing into it like such. Once it's in, I recommend to put a screw here to close it, to tighten it up so that we can close the screen and continue the repair. Okay, I just put one screw, enough for me to close the screen down. come back and check the screws and finish up the second screw here. Okay, let's reconnect all the cables, starting from the top right corner. That would be the LCD cable. Push it down. Slide in the flex cable and close down the clipper. That's one of them. Here is the trackpad or the touchpad. CPU fan. Speaker. Took me a while. I know it's not easy to install, but just be patient with that. The black cable goes at the bottom. Just have to align the circle in a position and then press it down. Make sure we have the bracket that goes back on top of it, and that one screw holding everything positioned together. Do not forget the bracket on the top right corner. That would be the LCD screen bracket holding the cables down and secure. So get the bracket back in, and two of the screws that goes in there. Okay, so that would be it. And last but not least, the battery. Slide it in, position the battery, and have all the cables to go back in it. Sorry, all the oops, I just dropped the screw. I'll pick it up in a second, but have all the screws to go back in. And that would be the full process of keyboard replacement. Now, if you find this video is helpful, please smash the like button. I really appreciate you for doing that. And again, if you feel like I have saved you some money and you want to support my channel and share your gratitude, please click on YouTube Super Thanks. It allows you to share your gratitude.
I need to look for the screw.
Sorry, that screw was tiny. I'm missing one of the battery screws, but I'll go look for it in a second. I'm going to end the video here. Thanks for watching. Bye now.